Trail runners, welcome back to Chasing Gold. We're talking to some of the top athletes coming to this year's Javelina 100, chasing golden tickets to the 2024 Western States Endurance Run. On today's show, we have Aravaipa Racing Team member Lauren Puretz. She lives in Colorado Springs. She's an obstetrician gynecologist, and she ran her first ultra in 2018 at the Pikes Peak 50K, where she placed third in 5:56:02. She has been to multiple golden ticket races, but is still seeking that elusive entry into Western States. Lauren, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Lauren, really great to have you. Excited to chat as you head back to Javelina. You were out here last year. You placed 8th for women in 16:19. How does it feel a year later to come back?
Good. I'm pretty nervous. I almost immediately wanted to sign up again with the goal of just doing better because I feel like that was my first 100 and learned a lot, and so want to do better. So feeling pretty nervous as it gets closer and closer.
Well, that's exciting, having at least gotten that first 100 out of the way, coming back with a little more experience. Yeah. I'm curious to kind of wind back. How did you get into this sport of ultra running?
How did I get into it? Well, I definitely came from a road running background, and just moving to Colorado Springs where there's a ton of trails. Started running with other girls who ran trails and ran ultras. And at first I was like, there is no way I will ever do anything more than a marathon because that's a long distance to run. And then slowly as I saw them and volunteered a little bit, and I was like, okay, maybe I do. And then in training for that first Pikes Peak Ultra, met somebody who was like, I bet with your training as an OBGYN, which is pretty relentless, working days, nights, 72, 96 hours in a row, you'd be pretty good at ultras and longer distances, which kind of got my brain thinking, oh, maybe I have trained my whole life for Sufferfests on the road as opposed to just at work, or on the trail as opposed to just at work.
Nice.
And that's where I kind of started dabbling in longer and longer distances.
That's awesome. So you've been to a number of golden ticket races. I'm not sure if Western States is that long-term goal for you, but you were at the 2021 Bandera. You placed 5th. At Black Canyon in 2022, you were 7th, then 16th at Canyons 100K. And then, of course, 8th last year at Javelina. Talk us through maybe if you want to go into golden ticket racing, Western States, what's the motivation for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to go to Western States. That would be a pretty amazing experience. So that's, always there in the background of kind of when I'm setting up for races or thoughts about it. So that is kind of a background goal for sure. I also really like warm races. So that's why the races in Arizona kind of appeal to me. I didn't know when I started out like Bandera or I think Black Canyons even, whether they were necessarily golden ticket races or even what golden tickets were back then. But since I've learned, and then kind of, well, maybe I do want to try that. So it's in there, not always why I'm doing them, but definitely a background goal for me as I choose the season races I'm doing.
Can you walk us through maybe your summer of racing? How have things been going training-wise? How are you feeling heading into this year's race?
Yeah, so I kind of did a mix. I did, I think back And I went to Iceland in June and did a 55K there, which was more of just an adventure, fun run to go experience Iceland. And why not sign up for a race so that way we have to go. And then turned around pretty quickly and did a road race, which was good. I PR'd, which was great, but not my most focused of training. And then have done more 50K training runs from there to kind of just more long runs for Javelina. And been going pretty well. It's been really stressful at work, so that's been really difficult in the last couple months. Which is some crazy work stuff that's been pretty draining. So I'm hoping that now that's mostly behind me. Most of the hard work training is done, that I can scrap together a race that I'm proud of next weekend. So yeah, they've been pretty good. I did the Continental Divide in Steamboat Springs and Salwatch Ascent in Buena Vista. So just traveling to pretty places to run and get supported long run trainings.
And you were first in both those, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you'll definitely have probably a little bit of an altitude advantage heading down into the desert for sure.
Yeah, right. It's always nice to lean on.
Can you talk a little bit about your race strategy for next weekend now, having done it once before, and then just with your accumulated experience now?
Yeah, so I don't know if I have much of a race strategy. I either don't have time or don't like to think too much or overthink things, because then I think I get in my head too much. But just from last year, I know on that 4th and 5th loops, my goal is to not give up or be able to keep a pace on that. It's kind of my brain, it's kind of up 10, down 10. And so on that up 10 to not give up or to slow down as much as I did last year on that 4th and 5th loop. So that's just what I keep thinking about when I'm training is imagine you're on the 4th and 5th loop going up and just keep trucking. So that's kind of, I guess, my big goal is to be proud of those last 2 loops because probably wasn't in the nicest place in my brain. Although my pacer says I was nice to her, I don't think I was. So I just want to be more confident, stronger, feeling good on those last 2 loops. So I can kind of maintain. I'm kind of thinking, okay, about 3 hours-ish per loop, and I can't slow down too much on the uphill on the last 2 loops. That's kind of keep what I'm thinking about is that those 2 steps in the long race.
Well, it's such a deceiving course. I feel like that doesn't even feel like a climb on loop 1, and then by, like you said, 4 and 5, it's like, how can I even run this right now? It's such a grind.
Yeah, and for some reason the boulders magically grow in size, and they go from little nothing pebbles to giant boulders that are there to trip you. And so yeah, it is. It's like a mental, like, it's coming, be prepared, and be proud of what you run up that is kind of what I'm going for.
Absolutely. We are going to move into our 10-question fartlek round. Lauren, are you ready?
No. I don't think I am.
All right. Well, what sneakers will you be wearing for the Javelina 100?
So I am trying to decide between 2 pairs. I have been wearing the North Face, I can't remember, Vective or something, but I just got a pair Ultra Flies, so I might throw those in.
All right. Will you be listening to music or podcast during the race?
I listen to books on tape, actually.
All right. At what age did you stop trick-or-treating?
Ooh, I still trick-or-treat with my kids. Does that count? So I guess I had a gap there, but now I have my kids trick-or-treat for me. So I'm still trick-or-treating.
Absolutely. What costume will you be wearing next weekend?
None.
Okay.
I don't have anything planned.
All right. If you had to fuel your entire race on candy, what would it be?
Take 5. I love those. Oh, they're so good.
Breakfast on race day. Are you Team bagel or team oatmeal?
Team bagel.
If you could choose a walkout song, what would it be?
Oh, probably something by Lizzo because I love her.
Nice. Best hallucination at an endurance event?
Best hallucination. Endurance event. I don't think I've hallucinated.
Haven't had it yet?
No, not that I can remember.
All right. If you could recommend any running-related item to a new runner, what would it be?
I'm really enjoying the belt as opposed to the vest. So the belt, water food carrier is what I'm liking.
Any specific brand or model?
I just bought, I think Compressport when I was in Iceland. A lot of them there had it, and I'd never heard of it before, and it seemed like it worked really well. So I got that while I was there.
Nice.
So I think Compressport's how you pronounce it.
I feel like this is a trend. I'm hearing a lot of people really talking about the belts right now. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Final question. What place are you finishing at the
Okay.
2023 Javelina 100?
First, why not?
Yes, I love it.
No.
Awesome. Well,
We're gonna
Lauren,
have a good day.
thank you so much for spending time with us today. We're looking forward to seeing you back at Javelina next weekend. Safe travels, and we'll see you in the desert.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much. See you there.
All right.